Hi, everybody. We are almost at 12 o'clock. So I'm going to give it just another maybe few seconds and we're going to get started. So I've got so much energy for this webinar today for so many reasons. Not only has it come to my attention, it's almost like it's been a flood of messages and emails and information and people asking for support in the last 2 weeks about exactly what to do. What do we do when we get out of school? What do we do if we are still in school, about to graduate, and we just don't even know what comes next? So I am going to cover a lot of good information for you guys today. I'm going to introduce myself in a moment, but I just want to let you know that it is my style to be an over giver. I am an over deliverer. I love to share information. It's one of my favorite things to do is to share and coach and talk and just help you guys navigate this profession. So I'm going to take a look real quick at participants and just make sure I have someone on here that knows me. There's Kathy and Sandy and Jennifer. Hi, guys. One of you guys put in the chat that you can hear me okay, and that way I'm not talking to dead air here. I want to make sure that you can hear me okay. Got some pretty strong winds here in Clarksville, Tennessee, where I live today, and sometimes that can mess with my signal just a little bit. So once I get the message that you guys can hear me okay, then I am going to go ahead and do an introduction. Now, if you're new to the Zoom platform, just know that you are, okay, great, you can hear me, awesome. So just know that if for any particular reason that we lose connection, this Zoom is really awesome because what it does is it holds the platform for you. So if I drop off because of any reason whatsoever, you guys just stay put and then I will reconnect, okay? So let's just hope it doesn't happen. It's only happened once in all the time that I've ever done webinars, but I just wanted to give you that heads up. If anything happens, we lose connection, just feel free to sit there, sit tight. I will be popping back on. All right, the other things I want to make sure you guys know is that I am not going to be off of this webinar until every question is answered today. You have a Q&A box, as you can see. Mine's at the top. Wherever your little floating black box is, there's a Q&A box. And then we also have a chat box, and it's fine to put things there as well. And I don't mind that at all. But it's really, really helpful for me to stay on track and make sure I don't miss anything for anyone if you just use that Q&A box to put your questions in. So this webinar is called New Health Coach Essentials, What Happens After Certification and Other Helpful Tips to Kickstart Your Business. Now, I will tell you that when I sent out the webinar announcement, what I was going to do is give everyone a copy of my updated Kickstart guide, which has some, tips and tricks in it that I think every new coach should have. And instead, I actually kind of changed direction in the last couple of days. When I go through this webinar, I'm going to see if I really was able to stay focused, because I was like, I need to tell these people so much more of this now in this webinar. And so I've decided to give away something a little different at the very end. So let me tell you a little bit about who I am. So I am Carmen Hunter. My business is Carmen Hunter Health, and I have been coaching clients and groups one-on-one and in group coaching situations, doing talks, working online with clients and with coaches for almost 7 years now. So this June is going to mark my 7-year mark of actually being in the trenches of the health coaching profession. I have been mentoring, brainstorming, working with coaches, and actually educating, teaching, and instructing other health coaches. It'll be almost 4 years this coming fall, I think. Okay, so what I like people to know about me is that I am super, super passionate about this business for many reasons. Not only because I've walked through a lot of my own health stuff and in the process of walking through my own little journey, which I know many of you have also had, I learned more about the human body than a person ever really should know unless they go to medical school. And it was like almost like having a Rolodex in my mind. And I would be literally at the grocery store and someone may ask me, oh, why are you eating that? Or why are you drinking that? Or why is that in your cart? And I would rattle off a big, long list of benefits. Like, it was just something that came so naturally to me to spread the word about wellness and health and how we can have better lives just by eating real food, just by practicing 5 foundations of health. It's like I couldn't hold it in anymore. And so I figured out just really kind of on accident when I was personal training, that I had a business inside of me that was outside of the actual personal training business. I had so much information inside of me that people wanted that I literally couldn't even get out of the place that I was personal training at for an hour, 2 hours. Sometimes I didn't even get to go home for lunch because it rolled right into my next training session just by sharing information about food and sleep and fun and stress and all of those things. People would stay until they were late for appointments just to talk to me. So I know that, a lot of you are probably, thinking, well, that's not the way it is for me. I'm not a personal trainer. I don't have that exposure. I'm going to talk about that today too. So if you want to know more about me, you can see where you can go to carmenhunterhealth.com. Feel free to peruse around there. Please wait until after I'm done with the webinar because I don't want you to miss anything. And I want you to stay to the end because I want you to know what I'm going to give you just instead of the Kickstart Guide I promised, okay? As a reminder, everything you learn from me today is purely educational and based on personal experience. Nothing I'm sharing with you is to be taken as a prescription for your business, your clients, yourselves, or legal advice of any kind whatsoever. In fact, when you're doing your own webinars, your own presentations to your own clients, you should always include something like this in here. And please make sure that you redirect people like I'm doing for you to my terms and conditions for further explanation. So if someone wants to know more about what when they participate with me or they attend something of mine, I am telling them, go to my website, it's all there. And it should be something that you guys do as well with your clients, okay? All right, so let's talk about who this webinar is for. This is for the new coach who is overwhelmed and has no clue about what steps to take next. And there are tons of you out there. I know that schools are graduating people right now. This is for the coach who spent thousands on a certification but was not given support for growing their business. And you know what? This could be anybody that has literally only been out of school a couple months. This could be someone who's been out for a year. I have coaches that have been out of health coaching school for 2 to 3 years that are contacting me saying, I haven't even started my business because I have no idea what to do. Maybe that's one of you. I don't know, but I'm hoping that I can answer some questions and get you rolling today. This is for the coach who's been tempted to sign up for these expensive, sparkly courses and classes that are floating around, because the more mainstream we're getting, you guys, the better, right? We want to be mainstream. That's what we want. We want people to know how important and valuable we are. But on the flip side of that, you've got people that are masters at marketing and they are watching this business blow up. And they are either coaches who have failed at this business because they didn't know how to run this business, or they are people who are like, you know what, this is an opportunity. I can grab these people because they're vulnerable. So I will talk a little bit more about that as we go on. But when I say sparkly courses and classes, I'm talking about those things that look too good to be true. This is also for the coach who's feeling a bit disgruntled about their education and wants some honest guidance about coaching. The one thing I love to tell people about myself is that I am completely 100% transparent. I know that there are some people on here that already are part of my tribe and part of me. The word tribe is so overused, but part of my community, part of what I really truly have begun to consider as my family. And they know that the only thing that I truly want is for people to succeed in this business because people need us. There is not an oversaturation of coaches in this world. There's an oversaturation of sick people who are being tricked and talked to by conventional medical doctors and practices, by big pharma, by people who are making food that is not good for us. They are marketing to people and keeping them sick. My goal is to out those people, to edge more coaches into this business and out those people that are keeping people sick and spread the word. Okay, that is what I'm all about. And I have made multi-million mistakes. Not a multi-million dollars. I won't tell anyone I've done that because I think that's marketing itself. It's not true. But I have made all the mistakes. I am a master at learning from my mistakes and sharing information that can help other people not do the same thing. So this webinar is not for anyone who has a successful waiting list practice with a solid income from health coaching. So if you're like successful, you've got a waiting list, you're making good money, this isn't for you. You're wasting your time. Period. This is just real honest talk about what it takes to be successful in the business. No flashy, dishonest lies, no marketing tactics with dead end results, blah, blah, blah. None of that. We're just going to talk about some great information today. So what are we talking about today? We're going to talk about what it really means to be a health coach. We're going to talk about what you might not have expected when you were interested in or attending health coaching school. We are going to talk about the important stuff and the basics that you need to get started. I'm also going to tell you what not to worry about, which is what some of those flashy people are marketing to you about right now. They're trying to tell you, you need this, you need that, you need this. So people are spending all this money, thousands of dollars I am seeing, on things that they can't even use yet because they're just getting started. I'm going to talk about how to get clients, the truth behind it, and something you want to learn right away to how to do to make more money. Now, I know that the chat box lights up whenever you guys talk up there, and I promise you that I am not ignoring you. I will go to that box into the Q&A as we go along if anything comes up. So let's talk about why you became a health coach. The first thing to remember is why you're in this business. So, I mean, I don't know about you, but I've already explained why I got into this business. I felt like it was like I was just so driven to be somebody that shared information and spread the word about what's really happening to us, that it overtook me. It was overwhelming for me. Not only that, but I had my own health journey and I was failed multiple times for a decade, 21 doctors, a decade of no one stepping in to say to me, don't pay attention to that. Look at this, try this, avoid that. It would have saved me thousands and thousands of dollars, lots of frustration. So I became a health coach because I knew that I had a gift for making a difference in people's lives because I had walked through it. You know, one of those things I like to think about is I'm not a person who looks back and says, poor me, why did that happen to me on anything in my life? No matter what's happening to me, I feel it, I see it, I'm in it when something's happening, but I never think it shouldn't have been me. I think, what can I do with this? What is this teaching me and how can I share this and spread the word about it, right? How can I make a difference to other people? So knowing why you are in this business is going to be what drives you and gets you further than you ever thought you could go in this business, no matter what happens to you, no matter what roadblocks you run up against. It's going to give you the biggest sense of accomplishment, seriously, when you first start seeing people thriving because of your guidance and support. And just interesting because right before I hopped on and was trying to proof these slides today, I got a message from a client from 3 years ago. We made huge strides in her health. Oh my gosh, her whole life was changing. And I've told her story most recently as the only thing we didn't really figure out was why she was so exercise intolerant. And it's not the adrenal fatigue. It's not all of the things that automatically come to coaches' minds. I had to dig really deep and become an investigator like I never have with her. And so what I did was I sent her some information on a condition and I asked her to get tested for it through her doctor. Talk to your doctor about this problem. Well, today she actually has spent her first week able to actually run for the first time in, I think it was 8 years. And she is not suffering from exercise intolerance anymore. And it was the most wonderful testimonial to get. I haven't worked with her in a couple of years. I've given her the tools that she needed because we've gotten so far. But you guys, I got chills down my back thinking that she remembered that impact I made on her life enough to send me a message and tell me that her life has once again changed for the better based on something that I did for her. Now that to me is hugely powerful and motivating. So you get to see a lot more of that if you know how to do this and you're consistent and you're coaching with a system, okay? So the top reasons you probably went to coaching school was, how do you help others? How do you learn to do this? To share your experience and make a difference in the world and to make a living doing what you love. There's a lot of things that are missing from what you're getting out there in your education with schools today. First of all, being a health coach means being a health educator. It means being someone who shares resources in a safe way, where you're not telling these clients what to do, what to take, any of that, none of that. Think of yourself like a filter for Google, okay? I want you to think about it like this. When a person has a condition or a problem, and you have probably been here, I'm sure, and what you've done when something might pop up is you'll get online and you'll search Google. I mean, it's called Dr. Google for a reason, right? So then thousands of resources are going to pop up. And of course, that client is going to get overwhelmed. Who wouldn't? Pretend you don't know anything about health and for the first time, you're going out to look up a symptom or a problem. Can you even imagine being somebody who has no health knowledge at all, trying to figure out what in the heck, what should I do next? What should I read? Where do I go from here? Well, if they had a coach who understands the ins and outs of the wellness world, like we do, right? Then that coach is able to help them to decipher what things are actually going to help this client to make sense of the next step, where to go next. What we do is we filter and we end the overwhelm. Without a coach, it's a shot in the dark going down a rabbit hole for people. hard, frustrating, totally unproductive. More than anything, it's anxiety provoking and stressful. And I'm speaking from experience, because back when I started going through my own health journey, you guys, like it was like forums and message boards. Facebook, first of all, wasn't even around. Forums and message boards were a joke. To even try to track a thread where you might get an answer for something was even more stressful than you could possibly imagine. And so even thinking about going back then, we are health coaches are a light in the dark. If I had only had someone to say to me, I want you to step away from the computer. I want you to go have a cup of tea. I want you to take a deep breath, because I'm going to be here and I'm going to help filter through some of this for you. Now, we are not telling them what's wrong with them. We are not diagnosing them. We are practicing a general approach and sharing information in a safe way. There's the dark side also, though. We're going to talk about what a coach should be doing, but also, the side of coaching no one's really talking about. So I want to make sure you guys are still tracking me, you're still hearing me. So go ahead and keep throwing a little comment or two in the chat box and let me know that everything is all good. I see Kathy has put a message in a few minutes ago. Good. I'm glad. So glad you're hearing me loud and clear. Awesome. Okay. So what a coach should be doing. We should be educating people. We should be helping clients get prepared for changes that they are about to choose to make. We should be supporting them and guiding them. And yes, we should be referring them. And what that means is, let me back up for just a moment and just give you a little touch of what I mean on each of these. When we are educating people, again, we are simply sharing information with them that we think can be valuable for them. Not what we think that they need to do, but something that speaks to what they might be going through. We are going to help them get prepared for change. That doesn't mean we're giving them meal plans and things to eat and supplements to take. We're helping them to decide what works best to help you get ready for these changes. Then when they take those action steps, we support them. And that might even be something as small as just cheering them on when they take their first steps out the door with their new tennis shoes on. I mean, it's different for everybody. So the approach for every person is always the same, but the custom part gets to come in where every person is unique and different in what they need from you. And that's where you get to pull that part of you out that speaks to that person and what they absolutely need from you. We are guiding them. So what that means is if someone gets stuck or someone falls off the wagon of change for a day or something like that, we are there to lift them up, turn them around, and guide them back to the direction that they chose to take in the very first place. So that would mean something like someone who is trying to give up sugar. And let's just say like they attend a party, they've been sugar-free for 2 weeks, they attend a party, and someone's like, oh, come on, you're already thin. You don't need to be worried about that. But what that person may be dealing with may be like chronic candida and yeast infections, and they're trying to give up sugar because they don't want to aggravate the condition, right? But they've got all this pressure around them, and so they cave. And the very next day they text you or they message you or whatever your means of support is, and they say, I cannot believe I ate a piece of cake or had a glass of wine or whatever it is that might have felt sabotaging to them. You then say to them, you know what, that was yesterday. We're in today now in this present moment. Do not judge yourself because what you did is nothing. There's nothing wrong with you. So let's just get back on track. Tell me how I can support and guide you in a different direction so that we can avoid this next time, right? So that's what guiding means. Referring is when we know that there is something so outside our scope that we cannot and should not penetrate that area of this person's needs. So that might be something like someone who tells you that they have a mental health problem. And then, or maybe they have a skin problem and they've been using steroids for years. And that's not something that you should be saying, well, just stop the steroid cream or just stop taking your medication and start changing your food. No, we say to them, you know what? I know you probably are overwhelmed right now. Let me see if I can help you and get you some resources for referring you to a specialist, a practitioner, a person that is an expert in that area that is going to narrow things down for you just a bit. Then we're going to help our clients put the pieces together for their health. Okay. So what that means is our clients are telling us, I think I can do this particular food plan. I think that I can do this particular exercise plan. It looks good. I think I can just at least take the TV out of the bedroom tonight. Like the 5 foundations of health that I focus on are all the same for everyone. Okay. It's fun, sleep, how we see stress, what we're eating, and how we're moving our bodies. So every client gets the same approach, but we help them to put those pieces together in a way that doesn't seem overwhelming to them. Is this all kind of making sense to you guys as I'm moving through this? And I am getting to all the pieces, about how, how we do this, how we're about to do this. But I want to talk again a little bit about what you may not have expected when you got into coaching school and what you may not expect about what it means to run a business. So let's just not even go in. We can't even go into details about how confusing all the pieces to this business can be, because I'm going to talk a little bit about it in a second. But I mean, I know you're seeing things like marketing, funneling, email lists, grow your list, nurturing your list, niching. All of those are pieces to a business, and they are a piece to health coaching. The other thing that you might not have expected because you've been told otherwise is there's not a long line of clients waiting to work with you. In fact, when you are in school, you can probably be so dang amped up and pumped up about helping people that when you get out and you hear crickets, you literally might seem like a deflated balloon, like literally like, oh my gosh, like where is everybody? The other thing is that your school probably isn't marketing for you or any other students in your school for that matter. So I remember when I started coaching 3 years before I even went to school. The school that I went to, I just did not feel like it really lent a whole lot to what I was already doing, because I was already very successful in what I was doing. I only went because I thought I had to have letters behind my name. I'm glad I went. It opened the door for me to be connected to other coaches because I had been working alone for so long. I didn't have anyone to talk to about this stuff. And I figured it all out on my own, which is where I'm coming to teach coaches, because I've been through all of this. I was led to believe, however, that my school was going to be hosting me on their networking site and that they would be sending leads my way. So I thought, well, this will at least boost my business, right? It didn't. And no one came my way from that school. Not one single client. Not one client, not one lead, nothing. The other thing that you may not have expected is that it takes really hard work to build a business as an entrepreneur. So I want to tuck this little nugget in here for you guys right now, that your title when you finished school, or if you're getting ready to be done, it should be first entrepreneur, then health coach. You are not a health coach just because you graduated and got out of health coaching school. You are a health coach when your business is moving forward and you're practicing as a health coach. The very first thing that you have to consider yourself as is an entrepreneur and a business person. Because without those pieces in place, you really can't even practice that title of health coach. Does that make sense to you guys? So the other thing I want you to think about, you might not have expected, is that no one's teaching a general approach to stay safe in coaching. I'm not seeing that. There are several schools that I support and I affiliate with, and I have been fortunate enough to be an instructor with them, to be a part of their faculty, to be speaking to their students. And they are so awesome in what they're providing for their students and what they are giving to their students. But those schools are few and far between, and they're not the norm. So I can tell you right now that when we talk about staying safe and practicing a general approach, this probably is new language to some of you, but it's so important to know what this means so that you do not end up in a risky and a high liability area in your business. So no one probably explained all of that to you. So I'm going to cut through the basics of it for you. Okay. All right. So the important stuff. So here's where we're talking about, what do you need to get your business started? Let's just talk about the real basic stuff. Let's talk about insurance. Although, you should be practicing in a way that doesn't require you ever use your insurance. Okay. Mine just came in for renewal yesterday. I have had insurance since I started personal coaching or personal training. I think I went 6 months without it when I was training in my home, but the minute I got into a business situation, I got it. And I've been renewing it over and over and over again. I'm knocking on my desk right now, knock on wood. I have not ever had to use it. And that would be fabulous, right? But having insurance gives you peace of mind. And I highly encourage you to get it, because no one is exempt from someone either not being in their right mind when they hire a coach and thinking they're going to get something that they're not, or misconstruing information that you are providing to them. A lot of people want to be told how to eat, what to do, they want you to tell them, here's your meal plan, here's your food. You have no idea how risky that is. Okay. So get your insurance. Where do you get your insurance? You can go to hpso.com, and that's HPS as in Sam, O.com. Or you can go to Philadelphia Insurance. Now, I'm going to provide this you're going to get this link in your replay. Kathy will probably type it into the chat box because she's awesome like that. But now with Philadelphia, I just want to make the announcement that they have shifted, kind of moved that health coach, life coach insurance policy into a different category. So don't just email people, guys. Get on the phone with these insurance companies and tell them, listen, this is what I do. This is what I plan to do in my practice and how I plan to practice. What's the best coverage for me? Because it's not the same for everyone. If you are a health coach that's going to be strictly just helping friends and family or whatever, it's going to be different than a health coach who is going to branch out into an online business. Like, you have to be specific and get specific information. Then I want you to turn around and I want you to ask them to email it to you so that you have written content that says, this is your protection, this is your title, and this is how much money you will get. This is how much is behind your protection. Is it $1 million protection policy or whatever? Okay, get your insurance. Second thing, consider your state color. I cannot say this enough. I cannot repeat this enough. Nutritionadvocacy.org is where you're going to find out, and this is not about politics. It's not about red, white, and blue. This is about green, orange, yellow, and red. You have to understand that you have restrictions. No matter what state you're in, it is going to be different. If you are in a green state, it seems like you might have all kinds of great avenues to say whatever you want. But I am highly recommending that you all practice as if you are in a restricted state, because you do not know what's going on behind the scenes. So go out to nutritionadvocacy.org, look for your state, be familiar with restriction, and then I always say, start your practice right away as if you are in a red state. Yes, know what state color you're in, it is important, but practice as if you are in a high-risk state. Learn how to practice a general and safe approach, okay? All right, the other thing is this, licenses. Something I made a big mistake on is I did not realize I had to have both. And it's called a municipality. Municipality, I have a hard time with that word, but I only had a county license. And I was sitting out there with a business license, practicing, thought I was all in line. And I got a notice that someone said, I understand you're running a business. Well, it was the city. So I had to contact the city and the county and get a license for each piece of that, okay? So look into that. Now remember, when you are looking up information about legalities for your state, every state has a .gov site. I'm in Tennessee. My site for information is tn.gov, tennessee.gov. So whatever state you're in, go out there and find out, what does it mean to do business in my state? The other thing I want to let you know is I did not know that I had to collect taxes on people that I worked with in the state of Tennessee if I was selling products and tangible items. So I learned that, I think it was last year I learned that. So I had to file sales tax, and I was backed up by a couple of years since I've been selling to health coaches. So you need to be educated about these pieces, you guys. You don't want to build a successful practice and then turn around and not have any of these things done, and it's all for naught. Save your receipts for taxes. Okay, if you have to get a manila folder and just throw them in there like I do, and I'm still not organized. I mean, I do my taxes every year, and my accountant loves me because I pay her by the hour. She's like, here comes Carmen with her big pile of mess. I'm going to make some money on her. This year, I'm working on the organization. I'm going to be using QuickBooks. I've got one other thing I'm going to look at, but set up something that you can organize yourself with and do it immediately. Save every single receipt you've got that has to do with your business. And that even means you guys buying courses, classes, anything you're doing online. If you buy an ebook to educate yourself, that is something you can write off for your business. All right. So let me take a quick pause here and just make sure, I'm going to check the chat box and just make sure you guys don't need anything right now. Thank you, Kathy. Appreciate it. Is everybody tracking the things that I'm telling you so far? And, talk about it. Like, tell me, have you guys learned this stuff in your school? Are you ready? Do you feel ready to get out and coach in your schools, right now? Have you been out of school? Like, tell me who you are on here. I want to know who I'm talking to. So the other thing is, do you know what a general approach is? Okay, because that right there, hands down, needs to be a part of your habit every single solitary minute that you're practicing. Every time you write a blog, every time you create a form for your clients, every time you get on a call, when you sit across from a client and you coach, you need to be practicing a general and consistent approach. Make it a habit. no matter what state you're in, no matter what your state you're in. Yes, there is the Freedom of Speech Act. 100%, yes, there is. But do you want to go to bed at night and wonder whether or not you're doing the right thing? Because I used to do that. I got worried about it. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I should say that. Was I supposed to tell her that? How do I manage this? For me, I created a consistent approach and a very unique and proven method to coaching that I teach other coaches, because nobody should have to lay awake worrying about whether or not the help they're trying to give to others is putting them at risk. Okay. So the basics, the general approach, and the safety issue. Know the words you can and cannot say. Set your website up and your printed material up for success right away, which means knowing those words you can and cannot say and not putting them in printed material, not putting them all over your website. All right. And those are the words. There's those top 5 that we talk about, or I talk about all the time. And I actually printed them and put them next to my computer for years, because I was like, what if I forget and I'm creating a blog and I accidentally say this? So those words are diet, heal, prevent, cure, diagnose. Now, we can use the word diagnose when we're saying, what were you diagnosed with? But we cannot say something like, you know what, I think I would diagnose you with this. Or, you know, just, we cannot say that coming from our side. We have to think, you know, when we are health coaches, not doctors and not prescriptive people. So using these words, diet, heal, nutrition is another one. Nutrition is another one we cannot say. So there's actually 6. I said 5, but there is 6. Because nutrition is a word that nutritionists use. Diet is a word that dietitians use. We are not those. Heal, prevent, cure, and diagnose are words that doctors use, practitioners use. We cannot be using those words and feel safe in our business. Okay? And that means if they're on your website as well. So my tip for new coaches and for people who are in this business is to have someone that has that list of words in front of them that can go through your documents, go over your website with a fine-tooth comb, give you suggestions. I mean, I have the suggestions. I'm going to show you a little bit in just a moment, and make sure that none of that is going on. Okay. Make sure none of that is going on in your written and printed material. And yes, occasionally you guys it's going to slip out. Maybe you say, you know, what's your diet like? And then don't panic about it by any means. It's going to become a habit once you get in the habit of using the right words. So don't panic about it. Just make it a habit to start changing the way that you coach with your clients. So it means a general approach simply means this: using the same language and the same approach for conditions and goals for everyone. Simplify your approach. Do not make this coaching thing harder than it should be. Use the right alternatives, which is to practice that general approach, and know what your role is and stay in your lane. Do not cross over into the lane of a doctor. Do not cross over the lane of a pharmacist. Do not cross over into the lane of a Reiki master. Stay in the lane of health coaching. You got to think about yourself like in a health coach car. And let's just say, like, the busiest highways I ever drove on were in Atlanta. And I remember being in the far left lane in my little car and thinking, there are 6 lanes I have to get over in the next 2 minutes to get to that exit ramp. Think of yourself on that interstate with doctors and practitioners and psychologists and counselors and dietitians and nutritionists. And you need to stay in your own health coach lane and don't cross over to any of the other ones. It's the best way I know how to explain. All right, we're lighting up here. So let me take a peek at the chat box real quick. Yeah, okay. All right, yep. I am going to definitely go back because I want to answer these in detail and I don't want to get off track, but just know that I see where you guys are. And I'm going to provide you a replay with this. So you can fast forward, go back and forth as much as you want. Yeah, so I will start back at where underneath Kathy's question as soon as I get through most of this webinar. Okay, just know that I'm paying attention and we will not get off until everyone has their answers. So this is a kind of a screenshot of something that I teach in one of my courses. How we stay safe no matter what state we are in is all about how we talk and what we put in writing. I've already told you that. We're simply sharing resources and information. I cannot reiterate that enough. Doctors have malpractice insurance, so they can tell you anything really and not worry too much about it. But we're all alone in this arena of health coaching. So becoming comfortable with this language is going to take time and practice. So this is like I'm not going to read through all of these, you guys, but this is very simply a couple of ways that I teach my coaches how to do the right thing. So if someone says to me, that, you know, here's all the things I've got going on. I've got, you know, my hair is falling out, my eyebrows are thinning, da, 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 da. What you would not say to them is, gosh, it sounds like you have thyroid problems. And we're not going to say that, right? We want to, because if we're educated about this stuff, we may know, that's what sounds like the thyroid or iron or adrenals. We would say something like this instead. I'm going to send you some links of conditions to learn about. Let me know if any of those resonate with you. Okay. So what we would not say if someone says to us, I am taking an antidepressant. Oh, you shouldn't take that medicine. Herbs are so much more powerful. We know that. We know that we have ways and methods of helping people to change their lives with food. It's very powerful. But we want to say, of course, you need to talk to your doctor about any changes you decide to make. But let me send you some options to take to him and consider in the meantime. So I'm hoping you guys are going to see. So when you get the replay, you can freeze this screen. You guys can spend some time looking at it and seeing how I go about making some shifts and making very sure that I am very clear that I do not act as if I am anyone but who I am. Okay. All right. So now that we've talked about the scary topics, which I'm not trying to scare you guys, but this is stuff people should know. This is stuff health coaches are not being told. This is stuff that is keeping coaches from actually going out and practicing because they're all, worried about, how to stay safe and how to stay consistent. Some coaches are arrogant enough to think that just because they're in a green state that they're exempt from getting in trouble. It's not true. It's not. And I'll tell you in you're going to see in a moment why I am so clear on the safe coaching thing and why I am so passionate about it. So let's talk about what not to worry about just for now. Okay. So we'll get off those scary topics because again, remember this, once you have a general approach and you know what your scope of practice is, that stuff is a non-issue. It takes practice. It takes a system. It takes being consistent. Okay. So let's just think about what you can let go of as a new coach or a coach that's been out of school and needs a few minutes. Okay. So just give me a second here. I got to take a drink of tea. All right. Let's talk about the things you don't need to worry about. These are also things that are being flashed in front of you because you guys are being marketed to because you are either in school or you are getting out of school or you have health coach after your name or you like specific pages. Okay. If you don't know anything about how Facebook ads work, that's kind of how it works. So you are seeing ads, and I feel kind of, I felt so stupid. I tell people these silly stories about me. I remember one time a couple of years ago going, oh my gosh, I love that topic about coaching. How did they know that? Like every day something new was popping up on the side of my thing, and I felt like it was like divine intervention, right? Nah, it was great marketing. And I ended up buying things I didn't need. I ended up spending money on things I was like, thinking that it was all coming to me because I needed to know it. And maybe you guys aren't as naive as I was back then, but I'm like, oh my God, I think back now and I think that is like master marketing. Well, you are being told right now that you should have a niche or you're not going to be able to target your market. I disagree with that 100%. I did an entire webinar on the niche and why you don't need one. It's called No Niche, No Problem. And you can see that. It's out on my YouTube channel. I'll provide information if you guys are interested. A person that is willing to work with anyone with a heartbeat has a niche because remember, you're practicing 5 foundations of health. There is no one walking this planet today that needs a health coach that can't benefit from changing something in those 5 foundations. I'm not going to go into the 6th piece of the foundation because it's way too deep. But I am adding a 6th piece to my functional approach to coaching, and it's about trauma. But I will talk about that, in my groups and things like that. We're not going to talk about it today. So here's another thing you don't have to worry about. Setting up landing pages, webinars, funnels, and emails. These are all fancy words. These are all scary things. Yes, they are all going to be necessary. But here's why I say you don't need them in this moment, okay? I'm not saying you never have to worry about that stuff. I'm saying right now, if you don't have insurance and you don't have an email server and you don't have a license, why would you go spending money learning webinars and funnels? Why would you go purchasing expensive ClickFunnels and webinar platforms and things like that when you don't even know what to do with them? Because I did that. Honestly. I did that. I bought so many different things that I could not use. The good thing about me, where I'm smart, is that I would purchase them with a money back guarantee. 2 days before the expiration was, I would write on there, have you used this? Did you use this? So that I would know to go back out there and get my money back. I never used any of it because I didn't know what it was for. I didn't even have a list. My website wasn't done. So these are things that are going to be essential to your business. If you decide to go online with your business, all of it is not going to be necessary if you are a local coach. Okay. And I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. All right. expensive programs for your new business. Okay. You don't need a bunch of fancy, expensive scheduling programs, all of those things if you are just getting started. Okay. And they cost money. You don't need SurveyMonkey to take surveys if you don't have clients to get surveys from. Okay. Those are the kinds of things I'm talking about here. One thing you might invest in is looking at canva.com. It's really inexpensive. And it's a great way to start kind of learning how to create ads and flyers and putting a nice little, view of what your business is all about. So something like that, fine, inexpensive, really powerful. You'll use it for the rest of your business. You don't need one more course on health conditions, you guys. Come on. If you have gone to school in any capacity, or you have suffered through your own health journey and you have studied health, do you really want to take a course on leaky gut? Do you need it? You don't. You don't, because when you're practicing a general approach, you're sharing those information links with your clients, and they are going to learn about it so that they can go out and do this by themselves. You don't need to learn it all. Trying to learn everything about health is absolutely impossible. It's impossible, and it's always changing. So thinking that waiting to coach until you know more, that's a waste of your energy. It's a waste of your knowledge and your skill and your gift. So don't try to learn it all before you get out there and do this business. If your person is still struggling with a health problem, don't sit there and think you have to be in perfect health to help others. In fact, when you are in the middle of your own journey or your own problem, sometimes it is absolutely the best thing for some people, because they gravitate to you like a magnet. They're like, look, she's going through this and she's doing great and she has so much information. Or, he's struggling with this and look how much information he learned about this. I've got a dear student who I absolutely love, who just went through, I've actually got two, as a matter of fact. They're going through situations with mold. They're the two of the smartest people I can tell you. And they're in the middle of like a mold crisis with their lives. They're muddling through it. They're working through it, and they're helping other people, and they're learning about it. So don't wait till you're in perfect health. It does not make you a fraud. And that's the last piece of this. It does not make you a fraud because you're still dealing with your own health stuff. Okay. So don't ever think, just because I'm 15 pounds overweight, or I'm 15 pounds overweight, how can I help that woman learn how to lose weight? I bet you are more qualified than anybody to help that person figure out what might work for them. Right? If you are a person who has struggled with depression and you're still dealing with it, and someone comes to you and says, I've really got some serious depression, don't think, well, I'm not a happy person either. How can I help them? You can help them because you've probably studied it ad nauseum, and you have more information than any psychiatrist on depression. Doesn't mean you're going to tell them what to take or do. It means that you have some options in a whole food way, in a way that they can sleep better, in a way that they can have more fun in their lives. And you're someone that they can lean on and be supportive. Okay. So the big stuff that you guys see other coaches doing, like this, like webinars like this, coaches like me, I'm doing webinars, I'm doing funnels, I'm doing all of that. But keep in mind, you guys, this stuff has taken lots of time, and it's been a lot of hard work, and it's been a lot of invested money. So don't put this on yourself right now. Don't put yourself in this position of feeling like you have to do it all. All right, let's talk about what is important to do. Let's talk about how to get some clients. There's no magic bullet. I don't have all the answers. I'm not going to tell you how to grow your email list in 6 months to a couple 100,000. I'm not going to tell you how to increase your income. So if that's what you came here for, I don't have that for you. And the people that say that they do have that for you, they probably have other things on the agenda and have a history of other things as well. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But let's talk about how you can get clients. So no matter what direction you're heading, whether you're going to do local business or online with your business, you absolutely 100% have to be seen, be available, be in front of people, be visible, and get past your fears, no matter what they are. You cannot hide behind a computer. You cannot hide behind a computer and expect to be successful. You can type great blogs all day long and do, juice cleanse videos and all that kind of stuff all along. But if you are not available and being of service to people, you won't get a thriving business. Okay? Just because you're a coach doesn't mean you're going to get clients. Remember what we talked about earlier. So about being the entrepreneur, remember that's first. So locally, how do you do it? Get outside, introduce yourself, do meet and greets, tell everybody who you are and what you're doing. Don't be shy about it. Tell your story. Look for somewhere that you can get exposure. Offer to serve your community, your audience, the people who are looking for you, because I promise you that they are out there. Where do you do this? Well, you walk into offices and you tell people who you are. I mean, how easy is that? You know, I think we really complicate this business because years and years ago, I mean, I was in sales. I was in sales for years, and I had to dress up, and I just think about it right now, and I'm like, oh my God, I actually wore like these dresses and stuff like that. And I would go into businesses and give my business card to them and say, you know, this is who I am and whatever. But there's something to be said for that, you guys, because now that all this online stuff is going on, there's not enough personal interaction in this world. There's one reason why I love to be with coaches face to face and do my calls every month and be together with them, because we need each other. Human beings are not machines, and we're not meant to live behind them. Okay. So walk into offices, introduce yourself. You don't have to wear a dress anymore. I mean, God, nobody's dressing up in suits and ties anymore unless they're corporate jobs. Go in there in your, you know, with all of your vibrant health and the way that you present yourself, and be authentic and say, I am a health coach and I am here to talk about what I can do to help you and build your business and create a healthier community. It doesn't matter if it's a chiropractor's office, an MD's office, a library, a grocery store, a library where you can hold conferences. Be a guest writer for the local newspaper. Find a magazine. Whatever it is, go in and tell them that you're there to be of service to them. Because when you do that, you open their eyes and their ears to the fact that they could be a better place. This could be a better community with you in it. Okay? Then what do you get in return? Oh my gosh, exposure, referrals, you know, friends, clients. I mean, experience all of that. Okay. So that's really, it's so simple, but it's only one slide and that's it. Get out there, tell people who you are, and be your awesome self. So online, a little bit different, but the idea is the same here, you guys. You have to be present. You need to find a place that you feel comfortable being a presence and being live and being there for people. You need to collaborate with other people. Yes, we're all health coaches, but we don't all do the same thing. I have health coaches that I use to help my people. Like if there's clients I have struggling with hormones, I get Maria to help them. If I have clients that are struggling with mold, I get Tim to help them. If I have clients that are struggling with sexual health, I reach out to Dr. Keisha. Like collaboration and helping each other is the method of working together in this business. So trying to gather all of your information and keep it tight to your vest, you guys, is not the way to thrive in this business. So if you don't like to blog, do videos. If you don't like to do videos and you're fearful of them, then blog. Find something that speaks to who you are and makes you feel comfortable sharing yourself. Where would you do that? Oh my gosh, where would you not do that? Find somewhere you're comfortable. Live Facebook videos. I love doing those. I don't care. I mean, I put a hat on. It's been a bad hair day every day this week. So every one of my videos, I'm wearing a hat. You can do anything, but it's important to be yourself. Do Periscope, do Instagram. Are you a person who loves to Pinterest? I've got a student, Sandy. She's amazing. I couldn't believe how powerful her Pinterest boards were. Where are you comfortable being in your space and not having to script yourself? Okay. Most of the time, these types of webinars are done with presenter notes on the bottom. I haven't looked over at any of them because I love to do what I'm doing. Okay. But you've got to be comfortable and passionate talking about the things you love. Do Zoom meetings, do a Q&A for free. Zoom is cheap, you guys. I think it's like $9 a month and you can even do it for free. Webinars, do whatever feels right to you, okay? So I'm gonna talk real quick. We're gonna get into the next piece, because regardless of whether you're gonna be local or online, doesn't matter. This next piece is the piece that you need to know so that you can start making some money, because you are only gonna make so much money one-on-one, period, okay? So all of these people that are saying, you know, that you can make, you know, $50,000 or $3,000 a month with your coaching business. It's not one-on-one unless you're charging big time money. And I know there are people out there that are telling you that you should have these elite coaching programs that you're charging $5,000 and $6,000 per person for. I can't even swallow when I say that out loud. I think it's that unethical. I disagree with it 100%. I think that being healthier should be affordable in a way that people feel like it's accessible to them, but that it honors what we're doing as well. And group coaching leads you right into that type of platform. All right. Let's talk about why it's important, why it's powerful, because it gives you more income. And I'm a terrible mathematician. And I tell everybody this all the time. I'm terrible. I need a calculator to add. But let's think about it. When you have a client that you charge $250 a month, you talk to them once a month on the 1 hour call and you support them. That's $250. It's one person. That's 1 hour. Let's say you get 10 people and all 10 of those people are wanting to learn how to be healthier. And they all pay you $100 for a 1.5 hour Saturday meeting. Let's think about how much money that is. It's $1,000 for a 1.5 hour group coaching session on a Saturday. Let's think about that, you guys. Do some adding, do some math, add it up. What do the numbers look like? There's only so much time in a day. One-on-ones are going to eventually exhaust you because they are very emotionally, physically, and mentally taxing, period. Because you are that person's sole support. So group coaching opens up more income. It opens up support for the people that are in your group. You can lead those people into more groups that are going to even benefit them further. So, I mean, even if you started out, let's do a Saturday for an hour and a half on whole food. Have that program on stress ready for them to sign up. Then if they come to the stress one, have the one on fun for them to sign up. Create a 6-week program where every week they learn something from you. And you offer discounts. You came to my first group. I love you for it. Thank you so much. I'm going to give you 10% off the next time you join me. Okay? You're going to get more referrals from these people because they're seeing benefits. They're not becoming a lifetime client. A lifetime client is somebody that the coach only has themselves in mind, because that means that they make monthly income and they don't care what happens to their client. That is my opinion, but I truly believe that's the truth. You have more fun in groups. I mean, for real. I love my groups. My coaches, we have a blast together. I just think they make things so much easier for everyone else and they support each other. And your topics are endless. You're creating that community, you guys. When you do a group, you've got people that have questions. They can answer each other. When you are not available for a couple hours, say you're scooting off to go to a doctor's appointment or be with your family, you've created this massive group of people that are there to support each other. This is a huge movement that is under your name. It's under your umbrella of who you are. They know you're the person that have brought them together and they depend on you, but they have each other. And really, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, is establishing this community. So that is the tip of the iceberg, you guys, who are going to be marketed by people who are going to make you so many promises. There's just so much more to coaching than what I've shared. The reason I shared these basic things for you is because I don't want you to think that all of the marketing and the promises coming your way are going to do all of those things that you think they're going to do. Boost your business, boost your income, give you 6 figures. I encourage you to not look at those things right now and get those very basic things that I told you about in the very beginning of this. Get those things done under your belt right away. And then you can move forward with these other things, okay? So where do you go from here? All right, so you have a couple of choices. Where do you go from here? How do you do all this? Get those pieces done. Get those basics started. And you have a couple of choices. So one of the things I like to remind people of is, you become a product of the people you spend the most time with, right? So if you want to be healthy, spend time with healthy people. So do you want to, learn about something in particular? Be around those people. That's what it's real. I truly believe in that, because when I started spending time around successful people, I became more successful. So the question is, do you want to be around fake, inauthentic people who don't have people in mind, have their health in mind, but are worried about the bottom dollar? And that means, like, if you don't know, cubic zirconia is a fake diamond. So, do you want to be around the real thing, or do you want to be around those fake people who think or act like they have people's health in mind, but really it's just fancy videos, fancy pictures, lots of great marketing? All right, so I'm going to show you what that might look like. So this is an ad that showed up in my page today, saying that someone brought in almost $13,000 in her first month using just these modules. I mean, this just blows my mind. But you know what? This is probably what you're going to start seeing. If you weren't already seeing it and you're getting out of coaching school, you're going to see it. So it's not typical, it's not common, and it's usually not true, and it's driven by something behind the scenes. So here's another one. This is amazing to me. I mean, this looks awesome. They built a funnel that brought in $100,000, a funnel. I'm like, I want that funnel. Like, hello, I'm not making $100,000 a month. I'm got a really successful coaching practice, but I'm not making $100,000 a month. So you guys have to invest money into either learning how to create that funnel, right? That's what they're going to do to you on this. Or they're going to have to teach you how
They're going to teach you all these pieces that you don't even have the money to invest into purchasing to make it happen. Or you can hire someone to do it. But at this point in your business, you don't need funnels. Do you have hours? Do you have hours and hours to invest into learning how to do it? Because I don't. So I ended up having to hire someone, but I have the money to do that because I had all the other pieces of my business in place first. What if you don't know? Let's think about this. Let's say you go out and you attend this webinar and you buy whatever product this dude is selling. What if you don't know how to market your business? Who's going to see that funnel? What if you don't even have an email server? Who's going to see it? Nobody. Okay, then what? What if you do have those pieces? Then you got to buy Facebook ads or you got to pay somebody. So this is all the stuff that's coming at you guys right now. And the truth of it is, and this is the truth flat out, building a business takes time and it takes work and it takes money and it takes a lot of grind, and it's not for everybody. Being an entrepreneur is very rewarding, you guys. It is, I mean, it has made me feel like I have made the biggest difference in this world. And I see my people out in my community that I've helped over the years, and I'm just blown away about how their lives have changed. And I see my coaches succeeding, and I'm just like floored that I was able to help them do that. But you know, the thing is that marketing is really powerful, and there are some good ones out there. So I give kudos to the marketing people that did that ad right there. They did a good job because I bet they signed a bunch of people up. So what is your other option? And your other option is to be with me and my people. Okay, so this is a mentorship and mastery group. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. I don't like the pitchy tones. I don't like the salesy talk, but this is my business and what I do. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, and you're still going to get the free thing at the end. So don't worry about that. If you registered, you get it. So no worries. But I have a group of people that are real people. These are like-minded coaches. These are all people who have gone through something very similar where they've struggled to build their business. They bought programs that didn't work for them. One of my biggest success stories is my, bless her heart, Daniela, who spent $8,000 in a coaching program, and she still took my course and said she learned more from mine than she did anybody. I'm not selling a course to you. I'm selling a community to you. That's it. And just hang in there before you start dropping off and thinking it's thousands of dollars, you guys, because it's not. So what makes this different? Besides being filled with super smart coaches, because I mean, sometimes I'm just like sitting there with my jaw dropped going, I couldn't have answered that better myself, you guys. But you get so much support. We have fun. We get to the root of people's real issues, but we stay safe and risk-free while we're doing it. And we're building a practice that's based on referrals. Because when we help people, they tell other people we help them. It's fabulous. It's unbelievable, which is totally against having those lifelong clients that other schools are trying to talk you guys into right now, which, that's about putting money in your pocket. I'm all about making a living, you guys. I mean, I wouldn't be telling you about this if I didn't. I think we need to honor ourselves. But I am never and never will be about making money at the expense of someone's health. So just remember that, okay? We are wanting to help them, empower them, send them on their way, see them progress, and then let them tell other people so that they can sign up with this too. So in this group, I'm also at your beck and call. I'm your mentor. I'm your guide. I'm your teacher. I'm your leader. I give you fast answers to every question you may have about this business. But that's not the best part. Besides that part about us being a community, the stuff you're going to get with this group is ridiculous. Like, it's done for you templates for your business. I'm going to show you a picture of what those look like in just a second. Literally, if you haven't got a system set up that's safe and ready to go, I'm giving that to you. These are done. You put your logo on it, use it however you want. Take out what you don't like, put in what you do. My very first intake form is 15 plus pages long. It gives you so much high mileage questions before you even do your first session. Like, you're going to feel like a rock star. I promise you. They're totally customizable. Live calls, usually more than once a month, because I can't wait to talk to you guys. I usually do more than one. I always do one, but it's usually two. Or I'm bringing an expert to you and we're ending up on the phone every week. It just depends on what's going on and how much access I can get. Live answers from me in the Facebook group. If you've got a question, you're struggling, it doesn't matter what it's about. It could be about your own health. It could be about your business. It could be about a client. I love to hop on and give you guys some real clarity. You get a membership platform where I load all of your resources and how-to videos on there. And the experts that you guys are seeing on summits, Thyroid Summit, Pain Summit, all of those summits, digestive summits, all of that, I'm bringing those people to my people. I am literally bringing live people to you guys. So just to tell you, if you ever want to learn how to do something, like create a group, load a file, use Zoom for a webinar, how do you do a slide deck? I have videos on that already loaded. I have topics that, I mean, I talk about everything you need to know. And if I don't, one of my people in my group will. And if they can't, I find somebody to bring to you that's going to show you how to do what you need to do for your business, no matter how customized it is. And I do see the chat box lighten up. You guys may be just chatting about how fast I talk or something, but I'll check it in a minute. So here's just a little snapshot of the things that you get. If you sign up for this group, this is the things you're going to get. These are the things that are going to be loaded, and I'm still loading them in. That is how many there are. Like my webmaster, bless his heart, has been working overtime, and I'm afraid of my invoice from him because I have sent him so much stuff and we still haven't even gotten it all put in yet. It is all being put in for you guys to use. So if you can see, I need to drink a tea, but you see my logo on there, the Carmen Hunter Health. That's where your logo goes. Everything in yellow, you can take out. Anything on here, you can delete, take out, whatever, okay? So with that said, I want you to know there's a food guide that is brand new, customizable. It's editable. You take it out. It's 55 pages long. It's not a detox. It's not a cleanse. It's about whole food. It's about how to help people understand the importance of it. It's about gluten. It's about GMOs. It's about inflammation. It's about leaky gut. It's about autoimmunity. It's about how to help people move into a whole food lifestyle. It's about how to nudge away that unhealthy lifestyle they're in. It's about meeting them where they are. It's not about taking everything they love away and putting them on an elimination diet, you guys. It is about helping them to navigate this world like you would want to be navigating through it in an easy way that helps to remove stress. And it can be used with anyone, no matter what. Cancer, depression, acne, want to lose weight. It doesn't matter what's wrong with them. This guide can be used for every single person that walks across your path. So basically what I teach is in this mentorship group, it's not a cookie cutter approach. It's not for somebody who wants someone to say, do this, do that. This is what the art of coaching is all about. I teach you the actual art. What does it mean to be a coach that practices from a functional approach? That's what my tagline is, your health coach with a functional approach, and your mentor as well. But functionally approaching people with problems, you guys, means that we are learning everything we can to help them navigate this world in a healthier, better way, and moving them away from what's being marketed to them today through the food and the toxic GMOs, all those horrible things. But we're not doing it with a detox or a cookie cutter cleanse or drink the master cleanse or eat this particular green food and take this vegan diet. None of that. We are doing this in a way that speaks to every human being, no matter where they are. That's the thing I absolutely love about this. So you get templates for every single session. Free session talks about how to do that, the first intake all the way to the final exit. Then I teach you how to get testimonials. I give you a template for that, how-to videos, demos. I think there's like 8 calls recorded that you can listen to right now of all of us talking together. So as a part of this group, you're gonna, as I said, you're gonna get access to me. I had a business person. Now lots of people go out there and go, you're gonna get, $5,000 worth of this. I actually don't feel comfortable putting monetary numbers on things unless I have a real, true value of what my time is worth and what my documents are worth in the industry. So I had my copywriter wrote things up for me like this right here, you can see, but I also had a business coach look at it and tell me, am I being honest with people when I tell them that this is what they're going to get? Because I don't want to lie to people just to get you to join this group. That's not the goal here, okay? But you are getting so much content, you guys, and it's so, I gotta get to the price part so you don't think I'm like gonna throw something crazy at you. But just know that if you hire me as your mentor, it's $497 a month just to have me as a mentor. It's $497 a month just to work with me. My document package, if you just want documents, that's over $250. But you're gonna get all of that with this. You're gonna get my proven method of coaching, all of that. So what's the investment? I know you want it. I know you want me to tell you. It's not thousands. I know it's been worth that. I know I've been told crazy to do this, but I'm going to because it needs to be accessible to everyone. So it's $67 a month or $697 a year. If you do the year thing, it's $107 savings. You can do 2 payments of $367 or whatever. If you do it for a month, you've spent $67. If you're not happy, just tell me you don't want to be a part of it, and my team will unsubscribe you. It is that simple. Okay, so there's no obligation. You can opt out anytime. I don't even think you could get through the amount of content that I'm giving you guys in a month, though. I honestly don't. But there is no obligation. The only thing is if you quit, you just can't use the information that I've given you. It's against policy. That's it. That's it. But you stay a part of this membership. You sign up for a year, it's all yours. Okay, so let's talk again real quickly. And there's a website at the bottom. That's where you can go if you want the whole shebang, the whole sales page. You can read everything that you get at that carmenhunterhealth.com/HCMM/SP. So go there, check it out. I will provide the link in the replay. So again, reasons to join. You're going to get all your answers in one place. No more wondering where to go. One place to get your support, whether it is from me or the other 99 coaches that are in there, or my experts that I bring to you, which you're going to just be blown away by them. It's ridiculous. They're just so generous with their time. No more spending money on things you don't need, because if you ask me, I'm going to tell you. And if you want to, I honestly, Carmen, I want to try to use this. I'm going to say, okay, here are some options that are not going to break your bank. I'm going to give you direction on where to go when it's time to spend money on specific things. If you ask, you get support of your peers times 10, because this is a community like no other. There's no fakery in here. Everyone is honest. Everyone is helpful. Everyone is supportive. There are some people that have gone through some personal crises in this group, you guys, and this is the place they come to get support, myself included. I consider the people in this mentorship and mastery group my little family, and I know that may sound like I'm selling to you, but I don't. I'm honest to God, I'm not. These are the people that I care deeply about, and I know that they care about me. And that's the way it should be. We're all trying to make a difference, you guys. So I have some really big people in my corner helping to make sure you guys are supported and safe and successful that come to my groups. And this is one of them. Lisa Fraley is just one person who, she and I, we're not a team or a partnership, because that's illegal to say for her, but we got each other's back. What she does is amazing. And she is a complete powerhouse, and she supports the things that I do, because she's a legal coach and she sees firsthand what people can get into and what trouble they can get into, you guys. So having her as the person that I trust, that means more than anything. And she comes to you guys. She comes to you guys, live to answer your questions. And you can ask her anything, and she's going to answer those questions for you and help you stay safe. Okay. So I bring you people like Joe Tata. Oh my gosh, just the whole talk about pain with him. I could see everyone was hanging on the edge of their seat. And he's coming back. He was so blown away by my coaches and their intelligence. He was like, I got to come back. When can we do round 2? And he's got a whole pain summit. Let's see I've got coming up in March. Let's see. Nikki Greatrix is going to talk to us about trauma. Trisha Nelson is talking to the health coaches about emotional eating. Joan Rosenberg is a psychologist. These are world-renowned people coming to you guys in this mentorship group. She's going to talk about how to move forward and move past bitterness. The list goes on and on and on. You get access to them live. You get to put your questions in the question box. I absolutely 100% stay on the cutting edge of all research and information, just because that is the only way to practice a functional approach. And I think it's that important that you guys have what you need. So you can see a lot more testimonials. I didn't want to fill this thing up with all this praise about what I do and all that stuff. You guys, if you're interested enough, you can go out and look. You can talk to other coaches on my Clarity group, which is free. You can ask them, what are they getting from Carmen, or what are you getting from her? Do you think it's worth the $67 a month or the $697? My coaching course alone was $1,697, you guys. So this is like a freaking steal. But I do encourage you to go out and ask questions of people. What are they getting from being a part of this community? So, and just because you registered today, I have this Pure Gold Resources Guide completely overhauled in the last 2 weeks. This is what you're going to get instead. I was going to give you that Kickstart guide, you guys. But I wanted to include that in the webinar. So this is just one page about the guide. It teaches you credible resources to look up conditions and diseases based on your client's intake form. Gives you education so you can be ready for those people when you get to them. You can pull up specific links with a click of a button. For example, if your client has leaky gut, they don't believe it's causing them harm, I'm giving you links for all that stuff. You can literally use this guide, click the link, send it to your client. General information safe approach. Remember, that's what we've been talking about. Use it as a teaching resource for a class. I mean, if you're talking about how gluten affects the thyroid, use Chris Kresser's ebook, 250 links on summits, podcasts, calls, books. And it's all coming from people that I have studied over the last 20 years. It's been almost 20 years, which I can't even believe I'm that old, but I just turned 46 and I think about when my journey really began. And it has been almost 20 years that I have been walking through this wellness world. So yeah, lots of research and information for you guys. So I'm going to get to questions and the chat box in one moment, but I want to remind you, there's no contract. There's nothing hidden. There's no obligation. None of that. I don't believe in that. I think that there's no trickery. It's just fun. It's support. It's education. It's resources. So just check it out. If it's something you're interested in, you know, no obligation. So let's go to the chat box. Let me check out your questions. Sandy said she's writing as fast as she can. She's so funny. You get the recording, so no worries. No worries, friend. Yeah, Pam. Welcome, Pam. You just graduated last month. Well, I hope this was helpful for you. I hope you got some good tips on what not to worry too much about. What do you think about helping sort through nutritional nonsense? I'm not sure what that question means, Bernadette, but keep, yeah. Oh, writing the words. Okay, I see. Yeah, Kathy's saying, I would not be using the word nutritional or nutritionist or nutrition in any way. I would say, if I was kind of marketing with that terminology, I would say something like, let me help you sort through, you know, the nonsense food, you know, using the word food. I don't know how, I mean, I'm trying to think on the fly here, but, you know, let me help you sort through the food myths that you've been exposed to, or something like that. Using the word food, not diet, not nutritionist. Yeah. Okay. Carmen's YouTube channel. Thanks, Kathy. You crack me up. I know, right? Dresses. Like, I know I wore dresses. I actually even had a pantsuit thing one time. Horrible. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So postcards. Yeah. You guys need to know this too. This is, and it's important because, well, it's not important if you're online doing business, but it would be important if you're out knocking on doors. Thank you for reminding me, Kathy. See, Kathy's part of my community and she's just awesome on Johnny on the spot. So when you are doing, you know, the door-to-door, knocking on doors and you're trying to get the attention of people, business cards are fabulous. They're great. But postcards are powerful because it's not something anyone can fold in half real quickly and put in their pocket, throw away or whatever. They're colorful. They're inexpensive. You can go on Vistaprint and you can do a two-sided kind of postcard where you put a picture of you on the front. So even if you don't have a logo, you guys, don't go worrying about all that either. Put your picture on there, just a fun picture, maybe of you, you know, out in the yard or whatever, and put your picture on there, put your name on there, and then put what you do on the back. That's something else I should have told you, and I apologize I didn't put that in there. You don't even have to have a business name ready to go. You have to have a name. And I usually tell people using your name is really powerful because then people will remember you. I used to be mindfulness and health. And even my own husband at the time was like, how do you spell mindfulness? I'm like, dude, it's been my business for 3 years. So when I rebranded, now it's, oh, Carmen Hunter, right? So if you're out in the public and someone says, what do you do? And or what's your business name? Mindfulness and health. They'll walk away going, I have no idea what you just said. But you say Carmen Hunter, they're going to say, at least they're going to remember your first name. Okay. So that's just another tip as well. Yeah. So Sandy, of course, you'll get the recording. Yeah. Okay. So I'm scrolling through the questions. So the funnel is going to lead through a process, you guys. I mean, it's just going to lead you to some webinar stuff and lots and lots of training goes through a funnel. But this actual link right here takes you directly to the page that talks about this program, the Health Coach Mentorship and Mastery. So yeah, and she's saying, what are you going to sell in the funnel? In other words, yeah. If you go out and buy ClickFunnels and you don't have anything to sell, it's a waste of money. Thank you, Aubrey. Yeah, I tried. I'm on there every day, you guys, morning, noon, and night. Morning, noon, and night. I am on the Facebook page helping people. Let's see here. No questions. The experts are amazing. I agree. I'm so excited, you guys. Every time I get like, ooh, I get someone new and I tell the group, the Mentorship and Mastery group are the first people to get their hands on who's coming. Now, the experts go out to anyone that wants to see them, but they have to be registered to get it. And the experts will live forever in the Mentorship and Mastery school platform. No one else gets access to them anytime they want. No one. Oh, that's very sweet, Bernadette. You join mastermind groups for all kinds of things and never experience a group like mine. I'm so loving that. Yeah, I love to over deliver. I think everybody should have what they need. Why do we have to wait? This just doesn't make any sense to me. You guys have the Kickstart guide. It's already loaded into the Mentorship and Mastery School. And then you also have, let's see here, you have the brand new Pure Gold Resources Guide that's going out to anyone new. That is also already in the Health Coach Mentorship and Mastermind. So yeah, if you want to buy a webinar, a website domain, that's good too. You can buy your name or something like that. But just remember, like knowing how to put up a website, knowing how to navigate the security and all of that, it's time consuming. It is so much work. it's just so much information, you guys. So if you don't even have the basics done yet, getting your license, getting your insurance, knowing what you want to do with your business, where do you want to go? Where do you want to take your business? Do you want to take it online? Do you want to take it locally? Those are things you have to know. So, yeah. So for those of you who are still on, I'm so surprised there's not more questions from people, but, if those are things, the things that I'm loading into the group, the people that are already on here that are in the group, you guys, they are being loaded. And I promise you, eventually everything that I'm promising is going to be there. It's just not a really easy, slow process. Quick process. It takes time. So, because I have to approve each piece, then I have to load it into a file, and then it has to be put in. But all of the templates are being put in there to get started with. Also, here's something exciting. Also, I wanted to make sure I didn't forget. I'm doing a series, The Art of Coaching. I am in the process right now. I'm down to 2 applications. I'm picking a client that is actually going to be a client with health problems. True, transparent, everything. Client with problems. And I am going to teach how to move through this process using my forms and how you're able to help these clients, walk through the first intake, the second, third, fourth, and the final, exit of it with the testimonials. You're going to get to see the whole process, and I'm going to do it live. So I'm really excited about that, because I think that to see the actual process of how a person can safely coach is going to be really powerful for you guys. So, all right. So I don't know if there's any more questions, but we are at the end of the webinar. I'm a super fast talker. I can pack a lot of information into a webinar in no time. Looks like we've been on about an hour and 15 minutes. So if there are no further questions, I want you guys to just go check it out, carmenhunterhealth.com/HCMM/SP. Look at the page and see what we're doing. See what we're doing over there. There's some real actual conversations on that page that we have had in the actual coaching page, how these people are succeeding and stuff. So, all right. I do appreciate your time. I know it's valuable to you. I know everybody's got lots going on when you're building your business and you're in school and all of that. And just know that I value you and I value your time. And I think it speaks to how much you want to build your business that you took time to be here today. So, let me answer one more question. Bernadette says, any suggestions about how to define and concisely communicate what or how you can help? Exercises, writing to define that. Yeah. I can share that in the mentorship group today too. I can type something up for you, but one thing to not do when you're walking into someone's business is to oversell yourself or make it complicated. Have one of those, have your postcard done, because that's going to be the way to concisely communicate what you do, right? But also walk in the door and just say, I would love to speak to the manager or the owner or the person that runs this business. And my name is Carmen Hunter, and I'm a certified health coach. And I'm just kind of out knocking on doors and trying to make a difference in the community. Who would I speak to about that? So because you got to get past the front door person, right? That's with any business. So, introduce yourself in that friendly way, be yourself. Don't can the approach. Have your cards ready to hand out, because more than likely you won't see that owner or the doctor, the practitioner, the manager of any kind. You won't see them right off the bat. Have your card in place. Make sure you have a system for tracking where you've been and follow up. Okay. So you drop your card off, or whatever, however you choose to do it. And you say, what would be a good time to call back and make sure that I get a few seconds of this person's time? And then you just tell them, listen, I am a health coach that is interested in making this a much healthier community. I start with the whole food approach. I have some great ideas that can complement what you're doing. And I would love to have some time from you. Would you mind to sit down with me for a few minutes? That's how I would do it. Excuse me. Wow, talking that long can just take the juice out of your throat. I really would not think too hard about this. I might brainstorm a little bit with some writing, but what comes most naturally is when we are ourselves, when we walk in and we come face to face with another person. So just remember that. We can write it down all day long, but when it comes down to it, when you walk into somebody's office, if you're intimidated or you're nervous or any kind like that, it's not going to come out the way you write it down anyway. So come up with an idea of who you are. Forget the elevator speech, because you can't do that in a matter of seconds, not with this business. You want to just make that contact, and you want to be personal, and you want to be authentic, and you want to be who you are. So I hope that was helpful, and you're welcome, you guys. Again, So I will see my already members of the mentorship and mastery group. I will see you guys back in our page. And gosh, happy Friday, guys. I love Friday. It's just one of those days where you can breathe a sigh of relief that the week is kind of done and we get to move into a weekend. So if you are a new coach and you need some more answers, or you just struggling and this didn't answer it for you, reach out to me. I am highly available and able to help you out and give you the right direction. So, all right, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I will send this replay out as soon as I get it to my my VA and my social media girl. She will get this put into a concise way replay for you. You will get your Pure Gold link to log in and get into that, and then you will also get a link to the HCMM page. So have a wonderful weekend, you guys. Thanks again.